the past few days it's been really frigid out here in New York City. A lot of people are calling it like the polar vortex. So in New York City we get the 4 seasons, and the thing is, for the past years we've been spoiled with the weather, because even though we had a few days where the weather dropped down, this year's been like extremely cold. So, but yeah, it's been like in the past single digits, teens. Today is a little bit more higher, but it's still really cold. But I'm just trying to show the vibes of what's going on in the city when it gets cold. I got to handle the cold pretty good, but this year I couldn't handle it well. And then, if you never experienced anything like this, it feels like your bones, they hurt. And if you stay out too long, you can get frostbites and even hypothermia if you're not even well dressed for the weather. But we're gonna walk around and see the vibes around the city. So without further ado, join me. Out here, you can see how the people are literally bundled up. But today is a little bit more manageable, It's only 6 o'clock, but you can see how dark it is. But then hopefully now it's gonna start getting darker a little bit later. I saw images, this hasn't happened in a minute, but the Hudson River was literally with ice chunks. And if you go a little bit more upstate, it was frozen. I even saw images of Niagara Falls, literally the whole falls on ice. So maybe I'll head later to the river to see the vibes over there. But I'm gonna make a first stop in the first place where you're gonna see the evidence of how the weather was, which is the fountain in Bryant Park. It's a good thing to keep that fountain open, but I think that's the main point. So you can see when the fountain literally turns into ice, and it proves you how the weather is. Today, it's like 27 degrees Fahrenheit, but with the wind chill, it feels like 20 degrees. You can see in evidence of the road how ice it is. They call this black ice. It looks like it's nothing, but you can slide and fall pretty bad. So here you got Bryant Park. And one thing I noticed in the winter, they mostly pop out the steams. I think it contributes with the heat. You see the most like in the winter. I'm just obsessed with it, with how the smoke comes out of the little tube. And you already see them take out the winter buildings, but they still got the ice skating. But the bad thing about the ice skating is they got music playing, so I'm just gonna insert the clip on a B-roll. But I wanna see if the fountain is still on ice, and wow. It is actually more on fully ice than it was a few days ago, so I'm gonna show you and probably get it done now. Here's probably one of the best shots. And since it's really cold, you don't see really much people out here, but the fountain is right here. I know it's cold, but this is the best time to come here if you want the place to yourself. During the holiday season, this will be like super jam-packed. Here, look at it, look at the ice. The fountain is flowing over here, but look, covered with ice. I think if I go on the other side, you get a better view of it. Wow. And I gotta watch my step too. Luckily they put ice, but this is actually really slippery. Don't put your hands in this unless you want your hands to be frozen. But wow. I think this is perfect for a thumbnail. Over here. That's the fountain over there. So now I think I'm gonna walk my way towards the Hudson River. It's probably gonna be colder by the time I make my way over there. But I wanna see if I can capture some of the ice. I was looking at the images yesterday at the television, and they had like the ice chunks, and then a lot of boats, they couldn't really move, because it was literally like frozen. So that's really interesting. I just figured since it's actually really cold, I think I'm gonna hop in the 7 train and take it all the way to the last stop, Hudson Yards, and walk my way all the way towards the pier. Because it'll take me forever. I think it's faster that way. So let's do that. We got 42nd Street right here, and the subway train is right here. So I'm gonna take the 7 train, but I'm gonna walk towards the other side. I can walk over here. There's an underpass that will connect me. That way it saves me time from walking in the cold. I'm just gonna push it. I think it's faster if I walk above ground down underneath. Yeah, it's only 2 stops, and then, it gets me a little bit closer towards the river and see if we can capture the footage. Hopefully there's still ice chunks over there, because I don't think I've ever seen that in my life in person, only in television. So apparently the train is on its way. Good timing though. So it'll get me a little bit closer to where I want to go. You could take the train to Flushing, but we're going to Hudson Yards. Stop. Only a few people behind me. So yeah, like I say, it's faster. It would have taken me like 20 minutes to walk from where I was towards the other side, but let's see if we can capture the Hudson River under ice. this is actually the newest stop in the 7 train. It actually reminds me of the Grand Central Madison, where they got the longest escalator in New York City. You're gonna see ahead of me what I'm talking about. The escalator that would take you to the street. See, it's pretty long, but the one in Grand Central is actually longer. But it's actually similar. If I walk, it's a little bit faster. And building this station over here is actually a huge relief for people who come from Queens, because a lot of people that work around the Javits Center. Javits Center's around here, you know, it wasn't really like that accessible, but now that they build the 7 train line around here by Hudson Yards, it's actually easier to get around. We're not done yet. Got to pass the turnstile, and then there's another escalator waiting ahead. And of all the subway stations, this is one of the nicer and clean ones. Look, they even got like the signs and stuff. And here comes the other escalator that will take you straight to the ground level, or to the street level. And once you get above the level, it's Hudson Yards, and then look at the mosaic. Pretty beautiful, wow. Back again in the cold in the streets. Now I'm just gonna walk towards 34th Street and make it all the way towards the pier at the end. Over here's the Javits Center, you know, where they do the Comic Con and all of that. I think like 2 years ago I made a video here of an auto show. If you guys want to check it out. Then it seems like they're developing some new skyscrapers over here, which are literally passing above some train tracks. Like the New Jersey Transit, they got like a couple of train tracks over here, so, and then they developed like this new area. Gotta tell you, since I'm getting close to the water, woo, it's starting to feel really cold. But I want to see if I can see the ice out there. I should have wear a couple of layers, a little, like an extra layer, and I probably would be more comfortable. Just gonna be here for a little bit and then head back to Midtown and get some food. So I'm here by the Hudson River. New Jersey's on the other side. You can hear the helicopter. Wow. I don't know how clear you can see it because it's nighttime, but look, those are literally ice chunks. That's amazing to look at. There's Pier 76, which I come here for the summertime when they do music events. But wow, this is pretty. Let me show you guys ahead. Look at this, guys. This is insanity. It's crazy. Wow. Look at the ice chunks. I think if I go in the pier, it's gonna be even better. I'll get a better footage. And this is the Hudson River Greenway, which I made a video here in the summertime on my bike. And it was nice, but wow, look at this. Wow. Let me show you guys. You can see the water. I gotta be careful because it's slippery. I don't want to fall in the water, but look at this. This is my first time ever, the 14 years I've been living around here. You see the water moving like this. Wow. Feel like a little kid looking at that, but let's make it to the pier. Probably I could get a better footage of the ice and the skyline of Manhattan. I think that's gonna be pretty epic. So. Feel like a little kid because it's the first time I see it in person, the ice. And I'm literally like, I thought but you gotta be very brave because the weather is really cold out here, so, but let's capture some footage. And then here, I'm not sure if you can see it clearly, it's a little bit of black ice. All of this here is slippery. Let me show you my shoe. It's like you could skate and do the moonwalk like Michael Jackson. To see how cold it is. Damn, so I wanted to go to the pier, but it's actually closed. Damn, that sucks. So I don't think there's really much over that way, but well, I'll show you that's a really good shot over there. And I think it's actually a nicer view if you see it from Jersey City, because you can see the skyline of Manhattan, and then plus the ice in the river, which it makes it pretty epic. But yeah, I'm so glad I came. I was looking at the footage in the television, I'm like, I gotta make it out here. Even if it's super cold. Yeah, but just look at this, guys. It looks like a movie scene. See, just the ice. Then you got Jersey there in the back. Pretty epic. Mother Nature. It really sucks that they got all this stuff over here, but it seems like they're renovating over here or trying to make it nicer for the pier. But if you go more towards the downtown area, it's actually nicer. And then you got the bike lane over here. Like I said, again, I made a video over here, but there you see how, how the river's literally covered in ice. And it proves you how brutally cold it's being, and it's still cold. Tomorrow's gonna go up a little bit, but it's still gonna be 31. The highest, the freezing point is 32 Fahrenheit. So it's gonna be still below freezing point. But I mean, it's January. Like I said, we've been spoiled for the past couple of years, and this year we really got, you know, the way our winter is supposed to be in New York City. You got to park out here, and then you can literally see the river covered with ice. You see probably the nicest and most developed bike lane right here. Show you the other angle. There's two people on the scooter, and it goes all the way to Inwood, Harlem, Inwood, the Heights. But now I'm just gonna hop back up in the train and make it to Urban Hawker and get some dinner. Probably, you know, it's just a simple vlog to show you how cold the weather is. But I'm gonna show you one of the best fried rice I ever had around here in New York City, which is an Urban Hawker, so you can see what's going on. So I made it here to one of the busiest train stations in New York, by 42nd Street, but I'm gonna make it towards Times Square and head towards the Urban Hawker. Like I said, the station is pretty big and massive, and you connect to many subway lines out here. Today's not really that busy, but sometimes you walk around, you see street performers going on around here. So yeah, I'm just gonna head again to street level, back to the frigid cold weather. Follow good architecture. The mosaic, they beautified the station, and it says Times Square, 43rd Street. And now I'm in Times Square area. Even over here, they got the scaffolding. And as I mentioned many times, I really don't like Times Square because it doesn't represent what New York City is. I would come here only for a couple of reasons, like any activity going on, or if somebody's visiting and they want to see it, I'll show them around. But I'm coming also because I'm heading towards the Urban Hawker, which is in 50th Street, literally right between Times Square and Rockefeller Center. So that is the only way to get there. I'm gonna go through here. And because it's cold, it's not too busy today. You can see the roads, how it turns like pretty white, you know, because it's really cold outside. I will admit, Times Square is good for time lapse and for B-rolls, so I'm probably gonna capture a couple of B-rolls because I don't know when I'm coming back here again. You walk here, you see everybody taking their pictures. This is like the selfie haven, a lot of tourists that come here. The best point is gonna be over there in the intersection where you capture all the shots. Then they got a Carlos Bakery. The original one comes in Hoboken, New Jersey, but they opened one over here. And I think a block ahead, they got, actually right here, they got a Jollibee's too, which is a Filipino joint. Great chicken. So they got a couple of stuffs out here in Times Square. But like I said, this really don't represent New York City. There's tons of other neighborhoods to go. If it's your first time, maybe come here, take your picture, and then just get out and explore many other neighborhoods out here. And this is where they do the famous overrated ball drop. I've never been and I'm never going over there. Gets too crowded, you'll lose your spot. People wear even diapers to be around here, so yeah. Also, another thing I hate about Times Square, tons of scammers out here, so don't let them catch you off guard, you know. Just say no, ignore, or just keep it moving, you know. But today it looks pretty quiet, but let's keep walking forward so we can make it towards the Urban Hawker, where they got some amazing food. It's like a Singaporean food hall with different restaurants out there, and they're really good. This is 50th Street between 7th Avenue and 6th Avenue. And this is where they got one of my favorite food halls, which is called the Urban Hawker, Singaporean food court. And they opened only like a couple of years ago, but they got some really good restaurants out there. And I like a couple of joints, but lately I've been pretty addicted to a spot where they specialize in Singaporean fried rice. And the fried rice is really tasty. It tastes really close to the fried rice that I taste in the Chinese Puerto Rican restaurants back home. And they got different varieties. My favorite one is the pork fried rice, the pork chop fried rice. So it comes with the fried rice and the pork chop together. So we're gonna go there and I'm gonna show you guys what it is and how good it tastes. And this is the famous joint right here, Urban Hawker. Urban Hawker, and they got some really delicious food inside. This is the food court right here. There's a couple of varieties. So I got my meal over here. Pretty simple dish, you know, but it's fried rice, you know, and then they got the pork chop on top of it. Really beautiful how they do the art out here. So it's really simple, but it's packed in flavor, so I'm gonna show you guys. You can see it, I think it has like eggs in it, you know, and then, of course, they put the pork chop on top, you know, a little bit of salad. I should put a little bit more, but it's okay. So now I'm just gonna take a little bite. I already had it, but I'm showing you guys how amazing this place is. It's called Mr. Fried Rice. So got a piece of the fried rice. Wow. It's delicious and really packing flavor. Like I say, it's a simple dish, but it tastes like really good, you know. Gotta love it. But now let's hit a little bit of the pork chop. Gonna take it here to the side. See, I got it right here. So let's grab a bite together, the fried rice with the pork chop. So I don't know how clear you guys can see it, but I got the pork chop over here in the fried rice, so. It's really good. Just a little bite says the food is a little bit dry, you know, not too much, it's a little bit dry. So depending how sensitive you are, I recommend that you have like a drink water or any beverage of your preference near, so that way, you know, you can wash it off the food. But other than that, the food, you know, like I said, it's pretty simple, but packing flavors. So this is Mr. Fried Rice, but they got tons of other restaurants out here. They got Indonesian food, Filipino food, and a couple of joints, even Indian food they have here, and they have a good coffee joint in the entrance. So if you guys are looking for some good food near Times Square or Rockefeller Center, I highly recommend that you come here to the Urban Hawker. So I'm gonna enjoy my food, and I'll catch you guys in a bit when I finish up my food. So it was a nice short evening out here exploring the city with brutal cold weather. Also, they call it like the polar vortex. But I'm gonna wrap up the video over here. You know, I checked out the river that was covered in ice. I had some great food in the Urban Hawker, and I saw the fountain in Bryant Park that was literally covered up with ice. You know, and that's some of the realities every year during the winter time. So that was the end of my video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for more. Be safe out there, everybody. God bless y'all, and peace.